If you're grieving the fact that you have family members and friends that don't know Jesus, then I want you to watch all the way to the end of this video. I'm going to share a biblical truth that's going to renew your faith for the salvation of your loved ones. Now, whether you were raised in church or if you came to faith later on in life, you know that overwhelming joy of salvation when you give your life to Jesus. Everything changes, and you want to tell everybody about it, especially the people closest to you. So you go telling all your friends what God did in your life, your siblings, your parents, your aunts, your uncles. Now, sometimes that opens the door for a gospel conversation, and they end up getting saved right there along with you. But unfortunately, a lot of the time, it's met with a lot of skepticism. It's met with a lack of understanding. That whole conversation of, well, that's good for you, but I don't need Jesus. And that can be so discouraging. You've encountered the love and peace of Jesus and you want to share that with other people, but sometimes the people closest to you are actually the most skeptical of what God has done in your life. And over time, discouragement turns into fear. Fear that those that are closest to you, those that you love the most, aren't going to spend eternity in heaven with you, but are actually going to spend eternity in hell because they never gave their life to Jesus. I want to stir your faith and I want to equip you to lead your loved ones to Jesus. There are people in your life that you have tried sharing the gospel with and they've rejected it. They've maybe even made fun of you or brushed you off, and you probably feel helpless right now. You've tried everything that you know to try. You've prayed for them. Maybe you've even fasted. You've had conversations with them. You've tried to preach at them. You've brought them to church with you, but for whatever reason, they just haven't accepted Christ. I want to speak this truth to you. One of the main temptations that you might face as you are trying to lead your lost loved ones to Jesus is the temptation to water down the gospel. You think to yourself, well, maybe if they didn't accept Jesus in his entirety, maybe I can give them the principles of Jesus, the power of positive thinking. Maybe if I can get them to believe in, at the very least, a spiritual higher power, then maybe they'll be a good enough person and they'll still end up in heaven with me. But John 14:6 says, Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I need to tell you, and I'm telling you in love, you are not doing your family and your friends any favors by watering down the gospel. They either accept the true Jesus and all the things that come along with that, or they don't. If you've been rejected every time you try to present the gospel to your friends and your family, don't let that cause you to water down the gospel. Now, I know this is helping you, but that's not all. We're going to keep going. Ephesians 2:8 says, For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is a gift from God. Your salvation is not your own doing, but a gift from God. But in the same way, the salvation of the friends and family that you've been praying for is not going to be your own doing either. That also is a gift from God. Sometimes we get into this mindset where we know our salvation is a gift from God, but somehow we believe that it's going to be our own works and our own convincing and arguing that is going to save our friends and family. Salvation is always a supernatural gift that comes only from God. Now, is he looking for willing vessels to pray and to preach and proclaim the gospel? Absolutely, but don't for a second think that people are going to get saved because you present the gospel in a good enough way or a convincing enough way. Salvation is 100% supernatural Holy Spirit grace. John 6:44 says, No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up on the last day. You cannot be God for your lost friends and family. John 6:44 says that people can only come to Jesus through the power of God drawing them. You are not going to be able to convince them. You are not going to be able to argue them or emotionally manipulate them into following Jesus. You are called to be an obedient servant, to minister, to witness, to share your testimony, and to present the gospel. But at the end of the day, the only thing that has the power to draw them into salvation through Jesus is the Holy Spirit. So as you're praying for your loved ones, pray that the Holy Spirit would draw them, would beckon them into salvation and into a relationship with Jesus. Maybe you're watching this and you've been praying for that mother, that son, that friend, that coworker that you're believing for their salvation. You've been praying hard for them, and maybe it is time to have a gospel conversation to put them in a place of decision. But maybe you've had the conversations, you've preached the gospel to them, but you need to go and war in prayer. Fast for the person. You need to go into your prayer closet. You need to petition heaven for their salvation. I want you to take that ache that is in your heart for that person that you're believing for and use that as fuel to pray for them like you've never prayed before. There is something that is moved in the heart of God when you go to Him with a desperation to see the lost become saved. Come on, God's getting ready to reveal more. Make sure you keep watching. This one thing is going to help you as you are praying and witnessing to your lost friends and family. Are you ready for it? Patience. Galatians 5:22 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience." When you have the fruits of the Holy Spirit, one of them is patience. And I want to encourage you right now, pray one more day, pray one more hour. They are not too far gone. God is still pursuing your friends and your family. Don't give up. Keep the faith. Allow the Holy Spirit to stoke that flame in your heart, because God is moving in ways that you cannot see and that you cannot imagine. If your heart breaks for your friends and family, just know that God's heart is broken even more. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you, as a sign of faith, to drop in the comments the names of the people that you are praying and believing are going to come to know Jesus. And then when the testimony comes and they receive Christ, I want you to come back to this video and reply to your comment with a testimony to see what God did. If this stirred up your faith, I want you to go ahead, hit the subscribe button. If you know some people who are ready to hear the gospel, I posted a video where I explain the gospel in about 10 minutes. So I want you to tap that link, watch it yourself. While you're watching, I want you to pray and ask the Holy Spirit, who should I send this video to? Then I want you to grab the link, send it to them, and believe that God is going to save them. So tap this link and I'll see you in the next video.